All right, today we're going to tackle a fascinating challenge in biology. It sounds simple, but it's actually pretty deep. How in the world do you keep track of life when it's growing on a scale that's completely invisible?
I mean, seriously, this is the puzzle. Picture a flask, just teeming with billions and billions of tiny yeast cells, all doing your thing, dividing and growing. You're not going to count them one by one, right? That's impossible. So how do you measure that population explosion? It might sound like you need some kind of magic trick, but the solution is just pure, elegant science.
So our whole story unfolds right here in what's called a liquid culture. The easiest way to think about it is like a five-star hotel for yeast. It's this perfect, nutrient-rich broth, usually with some sugar, like glucose, that has all the food and goodies these little guys need to just multiply like crazy.
And here it is. This is the secret, the big aha moment. You stop trying to count the individuals. Instead, you measure their collective impact. You see, as that yeast population gets bigger and bigger, they literally cast a kind of shadow in the liquid, making it cloudier. And that cloudiness, that's our key.
The idea here is actually really intuitive. Look on the left. When you have just a few cells, the solution is clear. Light just zips right through it, no problem. But now look at the right. As the cells multiply, the solution gets what we call turbid, which is just a fancy word for cloudy. It's exactly like adding drops of milk to a glass of water. The more you add, the harder it is to see through. Same principle. Okay, so we've got our principle down. More cells means more cloudiness. Simple enough. But how do we measure that cloudiness precisely? How do we turn that observation into actual hard data? Well, this is where we bring in the tools of science. So how do we do it? We use a neat little device called a colorimeter, or a light sensor that does the same job. It's the perfect instrument because it does one thing, and it does it really, really well. It measures exactly how much light gets blocked when it tries to pass through a solution. And this is where it all clicks together beautifully. You have more yeast cells, which means you have a more turbid or cloudy solution. A more turbid solution blocks more light from getting through. And when more light is blocked, the absorbance reading on our sensor goes up. It's a perfect chain of events. So a rising absorbance number is our signal. It's a direct measure of a growing population. All right, now that we understand the what and the why, let's get into the how. We're going to walk through the actual setup of this investigation step by step so you can see how it's done. It all really boils down to these three key stages. First, you've got to create that perfect environment for our yeast. Then, and this is important, you have to calibrate the sensor. Basically, you have to tell it what perfectly clear looks like, so it has a baseline. And finally, you get to kick back and just let the sensor record the whole story as the culture grows over several hours. Let's talk prep work. First things first, cleanliness is absolutely critical. We disinfect everything to make sure the only thing growing in our flask is our yeast. Then, we mix our yeast into the glucose solution. We also add something called a magnetic flea. It's just a tiny magnetic bar that spins inside the flask, and it's a super clever way to keep everything stirred up so the yeast doesn't just sink to the bottom. And that cotton wool stopper, it lets gases out but keeps any nasty contaminants from getting in. And here's the setup in action. It's pretty cool. You've got a light source on one side, our flask of yeast culture sitting in the middle, and the light sensor on the other side, all hooked up to a data logger. That cardboard box is a simple but really effective trick to block out any stray light from the room. The data logger then just sits there quietly, taking readings over and over, building our data set for us second by second. So you let this whole thing run for, say, 12 hours. You come back and the data logger has collected thousands of data points. And when you plot that data on a graph, this clear, beautiful pattern emerges. It's a story as old as life itself. And now for the payoff. All that prep, all that waiting, it all comes down to this one powerful image, the growth curve. This is it. Check this out. On the bottom axis, you've got time, the age of our culture. And on the vertical axis, going up, is the absorbance. That's our cloudiness meter. You can see it starts out low and flat, right? Not much is happening. But then, bam, it enters this phase of incredibly rapid exponential growth. The curve just shoots straight up. That's the population explosion in action. So, what is this graph really telling us about the life and times of this yeast population? The shape of this curve is anything but random. Every single bend and slope tells a different part of the story. Let's take a closer look at what happens at the very top. So after that wild, explosive growth phase, the curve flattens out. It plateaus. We've reached what's called maximum absorbance. But why? Why does it stop? Well, the yeast population has probably hit its limit. Maybe they're starting to run out of food, or maybe the flask is just getting too crowded. The growth slows way down, the population stabilizes, and so the cloudiness, and therefore the absorbance, stays constant.
Of course, an experiment like this isn't just about getting cool results. Doing good science always means doing safe science. So let's just quickly touch on the precautions that make an investigation like this professional and responsible. Any good lab will have a risk assessment. And it's not complicated stuff. It's really just common sense. Things like, wiping up spills immediately so nobody slips, handling glassware carefully so it doesn't break. And because we're working with microorganisms, you wear gloves and use what are called aseptic techniques, which is just a way of saying you use sterile methods to prevent unwanted contamination. It's all these small, professional habits that prevent accidents and make sure your results are legit. And that brings us to a final thought. We started with what was basically just cloudy water, and we ended up with this clear, dramatic story of a population's birth, its boom, and its eventual stabilization. It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? If a simple beam of light passing through a flask can reveal so much about a hidden world, what other incredible stories are just sitting there, waiting to be told, in all the data that's all around us every single day?